Greetings everyone, Joseph James with your nightly newsletter brought to you by the schooloftrade.com. Today was June 19th, 2009. Boy, what a great end to a wonderful week here we had in the live trade room. Very sloppy, slow morning here this morning. Of course, today was rollover for the DAX market. A lot of other Eurex products rolled over today, so we finished up the rollover from June to September. So we're now trading September '09 futures contracts on the E-minis, currencies, of course, Eurex products like the DAX. And boy, this morning, waited around till about 11:15, and well, you guys will see the results a little bit later on. Term of the day today is swing high, swing low. Now, of course, we always have people asking questions about higher highs, lower lows, and we find the technical term for these are swing highs and swing lows. And this is a very important tool that we use. It's a sentiment indicator. Well, let's talk about what they are. Swing highs, swing lows, guys, these are used in technical analysis, right? So not so much fundamental analysis. This is looking at price action on your charts. Now, by definition, this is a peak in price movement that exceeds a recent high or low level. And we're going to show some examples of this. Now, when done consecutively, so when we see consecutive swing highs or consecutive swing lows, they signal the start of a trend. They're used to identify levels of support and resistance. And because they act as support and resistance, I'm going to use them for my entries and my stops. Now, guys, another term that we use is called divergence. And divergence in this situation, when it comes to swing highs and swing lows, of course, divergence is when one is going up and one is going down. So if price is rising, but the indicator is not, it's a term we use called divergence. Well, a swing high and swing low can also have a divergence, and that is if an indicator such as a stochastic or an RSI or a moving average, if it performs a swing high or swing low and price does not, right? In other words, if an indicator makes new highs and price does not make new highs, it's considered divergence, and this is a sentiment indicator in the market. Now here we have an example of just what the fundamental structure looks like of a swing high and a swing low. As you can see, a swing high is ultimately just a higher high as price is moving in its upward trend. A swing low, of course, on the other side is lower lows in price. And now we'll also show you guys how we use these for our entries and our stops. Of course, because swing highs and swing lows can be used for support and resistance, we know that we can use those to, of course, to the upside for a long trade. We can use this to signal a break of a recent swing high as a long entry. And then, of course, a good place to put your stop is going to be at the opposite, right, of that swing low. On the other side, of course, for a short entry, we're looking for a break of a recent swing low, and then you can see how the most recent swing high there is used as your short stop. Now, guys, let's talk about a live trade room tomorrow. Opens up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, on Monday. Now, this is available for trial members, so come out and join us for 3 weeks. We'll give you a free trial, or lifetime members. And of course, every morning in the trade room, 7:30, we open it up. We do 3 very simple jobs, and that first job is to identify. We identify the news events we see today. We identify the type of market that we're looking at, whether it be a trending or a sideways market. Job number 2 then is to adjust. We define our windows of opportunity. We define our trade zones. In other words, once we know what we're looking at, we can then adjust accordingly to make sure that we're trading in the right direction and at the most opportune times in the market. If we do our first 2 jobs correctly, guys, job number 3 becomes very easy, and that is to execute our trades. I'm going to practice patience and discipline to wait for the perfect setups. Now, guys, today was a great example in our live trade room of how we had to wait patiently and then use discipline to only wait for the perfect setups, and we'll talk about this right now. Now, guys, it wasn't until we were almost done with our entire morning that we took our first trade of the day. As you guys know, this morning, contract rollover on the DAX, and it was options expiration Friday, so triple witching or quadruple witching, whatever you want to call it, guys. OPEX Friday is always going to be a little bit slower than normal, and of course we expect to see some relatively sporadic and impulsive price action. Now, today was no different. OPEX Friday usually going to be a pretty standard operating procedure. We had to wait most of the morning here. 28 minutes past the hour, though, we get a wave set up. This was a short from 65 even, and it got us going with a little small winning trade here of 3 points on the DAX. Now, of course, guys, the DAX market, one of our favorite markets to trade because of its wild swings, lots of volatility, and of course, at 35 US dollars per point, these points are going to add up very quickly. So our first trade of the day, albeit very late in the morning, guys, we had already had a good portion of our members had already left for the morning, thinking that we weren't going to see anything else here this morning. And boy, wouldn't you know, our patience paid off with the first 3-point winning trade. This is a wave setup, so a trend continuation trade setup. Guys, just minutes thereafter, we had a re-entry at 11:31, 31 minutes past the hour of 11 o'clock. This was a re-entry on another wave pattern. This was short from 51.5, and this one made us a little bit more money here. We took profit at 3, 6, and 7 for a total of 16 points on that trade alone. Of course, $35 per point, guys. We're quickly seeing this bill tally up pretty well. 11:37, 37 minutes past the hour. This was a two-step. Now, this two-step pattern, one of our favorite developing patterns here in the DAX, it's a counter-trend trade, and ultimately, we were looking for another short entry here on the DAX. You guys can see those minor levels of support and resistance, which are our light blue lines. Those light blue lines there are minor levels of support and resistance. You can see how we labeled that at 48 even, because we were looking for a wave pattern short. Right, we were looking for back-to-back-to-back short trades here, but that wave pattern failed, and it didn't fit our rules because of one reason or another. We then begin to look for our failure pattern, which of course is our two-step, a counter trend trade. Because it was a counter trend trade, I'm taking profit a little bit closer here. So you'll notice, right, our targets are going to be 3 and 6 on a trend continuation trade. On a counter trend trade, though, you notice we're going to take profit a little bit earlier. So 2 and 4. So this next and final trade here, 11:37, counter trend trade, +2, +4, that's 6 points total. Guys, add them all up. There's 25 points today in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. We got into this market at 11:28 this morning. We were out less than 10 minutes later, 11:37. Guys, $35 times 25 points, $875. Guys, just short of $1,000 here in less than 10 minutes in the DAX. Guys, this is again why we love this market. It'll pick up quick, it'll get you in, get you out, and get you paid. And once again, guys, we'll show you how to do all of this Monday morning in our live trade room. Had a wonderful week this week. We had 3 out of the 5 days this week, guys, making over $1,000 in our room this morning. And guys, we're planning on doing the same stuff next week, so come out and join us. Let's do a quick recap. Our live trade room, as we've spoken before, opens up at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. We're going to trade 6 different markets. Markets, of course, like the E-minis, the ES, the Russell, the NASDAQ. We're going to trade DAX, gold, euro, crude oil. Guys, whatever you want to trade, we'll trade it. We'll show you how well our methodology works in real time. We'll give you live calls with entries, targets, and stops, and of course, plenty of opportunity for questions. You're going to see the market in a completely different way. We'll give you a free 3 weeks. Come out. We'll show you all the rules, everything you need to know to trade with us, and you can get more information by sending us an email at sales@schooloftrade.com or head over to our homepage, and you can sign up for your free trial right there on the homepage. My name is Joseph James. I'm the developer of the James Wade method of trading. Great week this week, guys. We'll see you out here next week in our free trial for our trade room. Hope the video helps, guys. We'll see you next time.